We are a group of progressive people who formed and are promoting the Rose Mark Seal campaign to support election candidates who advocate anti-austerity policies in pursuit of providing choices for voters and to supplant Abe cabinet's poor economic policies. For the House of Councillors election in July 2019, it is necessary to first increase the number of associates with the same idea in the nationwide local elections in April. In the process, we will offer a Rose Mark Seal to candidates who adopt the anti-austerity economic policy regardless of which political parties they belong to. The rose is a symbol of the global movement of people seeking enrichment of lives and dignity. We believe that this campaign can create a new wave that can tilt people's mood of insecurity into hope. According to the 2017 Comprehensive Survey of Living Conditions by the Japanese government, more than 50% of the population responded that their living conditions were difficult. This unpleasant result, we believe, is emerged from the people's anxiety of losing their jobs, harassment at work, unpaid overtime, burden of nursing and childcare, wage reduction, etc. As a result, Japan's personal consumption growth is slowing down and unable to overcome deflation. Meanwhile, it is a fact that large companies continue to raise unprecedented profit. During the past 5 years, after the formation of the Abe cabinet in December 2012, despite of severe criticism and controversies from the public on economic policies, the cabinet continued to execute several rational policies, including raising rates of consumption tax from 5% to 8% in 2014 and gradual reduction of corporate tax. Controversies and opposing opinions are vocalized in other unprogressive policies as well, yet the current approval rating of the Abe cabinet remains high, and the current LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, has won 5 consecutive victories in national elections. The reason that such controversial situation continues is perhaps it indicates that voters who thought there are no other choices to vote did not go to vote, or a lot of people who actually voted could not find an opposition party that could bring up alternative economic policies. And as a result, many people have no other choice but to rely on Prime Minister Abe's promises of economic recovery and improvement on employment situation. The government is attempting to raise the consumption tax rate from 8% to 10% in October 2019 in pursuit of fiscal consolidation. However, the reality was that tax revenue from the previous tax consumption increases was to use to fill in the gaps resulting from corporate tax reduction, despite of the initial promise that fiscal expenditure was to be spent to enhance social security system. In such a situation, personal consumption will decrease even more, and the seriousness of deflation becomes more severe, bringing inevitable damage to the national economy. In addition, in December 2018, with a stated intention as though to eliminate low-wage labor shortage, an amendment to the Immigration Control Act passed by the Diet, the majority of its members are from the ruling parties. Normally at this point, if there were other parties that can bring up more solid economic policies, the people would not have needed to vote for the LDP. 2019 is an important year for the future of Japan, starting with the unified local elections in April and followed by the upper house election in July. Unfortunately, however, the oppositions have been unable to wipe off the negative image of the Democratic Party's government that lasted 3 years since September 2009 and have been incapable of raising vigorous economic policies that will appeal to voters, providing prosperity and hope. What will happen to the people, over 50% of whom claim their living conditions were worsening, if the oppositions allow the implementation of the fiscal austerity measures by the ruling party based on their theory of fiscal crisis, which include the increase in consumption tax? The government and the Osaka Restoration Association have launched stimulus measures, including the opening of casino and hosting the Osaka World Expo in 2025, following the Tokyo Olympics in 2020, to boost the profits of foreign investors and big businesses. If the opposition parties remain incapable to compete with such flamboyant yet superficial policies, the current LDP will likely win again. And as a result, ad hoc law amendments and controversial policies ignoring strong opposition of many voters will be further promoted. We are seriously concerned that the coercive and inconsiderate procedure by the ruling party will become habitual. We must appeal strongly to the people that while the austerity idea rooted deeply in the LDP led by Prime Minister Abe and some opposition party members is wrong. It is absolutely essential for both ruling and opposition parties to make every effort to formulate economic policies to improve the lives of people as a priority issue and should be the focal point of debate in the election. We strongly believe it is time to appeal to people that returning to the idea of income redistribution and laying great importance on taking taxes from those who are wealthy and investing in people to solve their concerns about nursing, medical, and childcare will boost economic growth and lead to the expansion of employment and eventually enriching people's lives. In recent years, the anti-austerity movement has become a big swell and internationally integrated, which has a big influence in its own national economic policy. These choices for the people are now surfacing internationally. The 2018 midterm elections in New York, Democratic Representative Ms. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who advocated anti-austerity policy, won over the Republican candidate. In France, the Yellow Vest movement by citizens halted the government's tax increase policy. We fully support this movement of anti-austerity and anti-aggressive tax increase. We feel it is absolutely important also in Japan to promote an anti-austerity movement in the aim of supplanting Abe cabinet's economic policy. In the same spirit of the progressive movement, we share a common goal with our friends in the world who are fighting for their own justice. We certainly hope to receive the support from our friends for our Rose Marxist campaign and to be united for the better future of the human society.